Welcome back to the channel Tripping with Retirees. We're on the road again and we are on our way to Swellendam. But first we got to get onto the N2, just passing the Cape Town International Airport. It's Friday afternoon in October. The weather is still gloomy and there are rain clouds that's threatening to open up. But let's see how far it takes us before the rain gets us. So the road is fairly quiet because it's just after 12 and check-in time is only at 3. We thought the road was quiet until we hit the roadworks. So the roadworks are just after Hoek Inn, all the way down almost into Caledon. If you will be travelling this road over the festive season, please make sure you have enough time. Just look at this gent, a total opportunist. The salesman of the year, I call him. So the traffic in both directions were really bad. It was hours and hours of slow driving or stopping, which made us really late for our check-in. But yeah, we called in and just advised that we were held up in roadworks. So if the traffic gets to you, look out of the window and admire the views. There are some beautiful mountainscapes to look at. And no sooner were we in Caledon. Caledon is one of the most favorite places to pass. There's a casino and a sign that says the southernmost point of Africa, or the tip of Africa. And then you're on your way to Swellendam. And just outside of Caledon, the rainstorm got us. We passed under a cloud that dropped off all the water. But it was so refreshing and cooling to get some rain on the road, and we were hoping it stops because we had a lovely weekend planned. Most famous place where everybody stops for a pit stop, Rivier End. You have to stop at this garage and on the road again. And finally we saw the little quaint town of Swellendam, nestled in the foothills of the mountain. Soon after you pass the town, you'll find a signage that says Buffeljag Rivier, and you turn right to go to this resort. But with every road trip of ours, tar is short-lived. And then you will get the famous gravel roads, which we're always looking forward to do. after traveling for a while on the gravel road, you enter the gates for the resort. And it's actually such a pretty sight traveling down into the foothills of these mountains. But there's some more gravel road to encounter before we can reach our destination. The fencing you see along the side is to keep the animals or the wild on the property. It is so pretty to see the animals along the side if you could manage to spot one or two. And eventually it was going down to the resort. Look at the beautiful lake in the background. Or so we thought. It's actually the Brede River. So there's a mixture of plantations here. You got the aloe and the greenery of some of the most beautiful trees, which just gives you a proper resort feeling. You check in at the reception once you've reached there, and then off you go to your accommodation. The lawns are beautifully manicured, and it's so tempting to take a roll. And on your left hand side you will see the accommodation. But this is the front view. Enough space for kids to play. You don't have to watch them except for the river that's very close by. I'm just going to take a roundabout into the accommodation so that you could see what it looks like. This is the biggest mosquito I've ever seen. This thing must be on steroids. There's a load of activities to do. There was archery. You'll see canoeing later on. You can take a walk on the walking trail. There was rock painting for the kids. So this is my creation. And then there's the jacuzzi, which is a lovely area, such a peaceful, calming area. And take a walk with us through the walking trail and enjoy it. And if you're wondering if there's snakes, apparently there are. So I believe there's a puff adder or puff adders and there's cobras. I haven't seen them, but I was told they are. I wouldn't put it past because this seems to be their natural environment. So at this resort, there's also a playroom for kids, and it's equipped with bicycles, a pool table, badminton, and some other fun games for them. So your kids could never be bored. It's a really lovely place for kids to be and so entertaining. And the canoeing, I don't know if it's for kids, but I know adults can do it. So here's some people just going down the river. If you don't want to do canoeing, there's a lookout point where you can watch the canoeists or the guys who think they can canoe going down the river. On Friday evening, we had the most beautiful evening sky. This is the moon hiding behind some clouds. And then we were looking at all the stars in the sky. And guess what we spotted? The planet Venus. We used an app to identify it. The next morning, we had a visitor. A pretty little bird came to greet us, and we put some food out for them. And then we were out onto the river, driving along the riverside. Of course, we had to do some tracks, because this is why we do this. We go out to these remote places to enjoy the natural area. We found a landing strip for the farmers, of course, with the grey and white clouds above us. And then we saw the animals. They were grazing in the background and underneath these grey skies. They were so beautiful to see, and they watched us and we watched them. So mountain rocks and mountainsides always intrigue me, but so does cloud formations. If you just look at each cloud, somehow or other you can see something it looks like or duplicates, but just look how pretty all these clouds are hanging in the sky. See if you can spot the zebra amongst these buck. He was hiding away, but he couldn't hide too much because his stripes was clearly showing us that he is there, and he was the most prettiest of all. So at this resort is a labyrinth which you can do, and this is just to center yourself. You take a walk, it's like a maze. We also found some old farm equipment remotely laying somewhere on the resort or away from the resort. It was so easily to spot because there was nothing else around it. And then we found some more buck as we were leaving, and they were also grazing under the grey skies. And we saw the sun trying to peep through the dark skies. It was really so pretty to look at. And when we stopped, we looked closer onto the gravel, and we found, is this a centipede or a millipede? We didn't count the legs, but he was walking there as if he had no fear. This is the view of the resort from the top down, and you can see how wide it stretches and the river in the background. And then it was time to leave. It's always the saddest part of the day. So at the close by garage, which is about 25 kilometers away, you will get this information. And we were on our way home, and these pics were taken just over the Tweeskloof Pass and looking down into the valley. If you like this video, please press the like button, share it, and subscribe. It's gonna cost you nothing. We can't wait to see you the next time around. Thank you for watching our video, and thank you to all our new subscribers.